If you're a longtime Sega fan, then chances are good that you're excited to see the company has plans to resurrect some of their most beloved franchises. This will include fan favorites like Shinobi and Streets of Rage, as well as our first new Golden Axe game in 16 years. You know, that glimpse got me wondering what Electronic Gaming Monthly thought of the Golden Axe franchise. What was their favorite game in this long-running series? As it turns out, Electronic Gaming Monthly reviewed a total of 8 Golden Axe games between 1989 and 2008. This includes most of the main series and a bunch of the spin-offs. Unfortunately, EGM didn't get around to reviewing the Sega Channel exclusive Golden Axe 3, and they completely missed out on Golden Axe Beast Rider. You know, they did hit most of the major releases, including Alien Storm. And by the way, if you have a problem with me including that, then I suggest you get back to me after you beat that arcade version of Alien Storm, which directly connects to the fantasy brawler. What we're gonna do today is count down the best and worst Golden Axe games using Electronic Gaming Monthly's own words and scores. There's no editorializing here, we're just gonna focus on what the critics said back when these games first came out. So grab those potions and get ready to ride a cockatrice, because this is what happens when EGM ranks Golden Axe.
Dave Whitney wanted the real arcade games at home, so he got them. Mike Rogers wanted them too, but he got a Genesis system by Sega. Why? Check it out. Arcade screen left, Genesis screen right. If they look the same, you've answered correctly. Besides, Genesis has real-life action in sports games, flying games, and adventure games. The hottest library going. So if you want real arcade action, there's only 2 ways to get it.
Dave, we got your Golden Axe.
Or get Genesis by Sega. We bring the arcade experience home.
Kicking things off, at number 8 is Golden Axe, the Duel on Saturn. As a fan of every Golden Axe game, I was eager with anticipation for a Street Fighter type version. Had this game come out a couple of years ago, I would have been pleased. Now, the 2D, low-frame animation doesn't quite cut it. Golden Axe the Duel looks and plays a lot like Samurai Showdown with the scaling and the weapon effects. The best part about the game is hitting the little imps up for their food and potions. Once you've gathered enough magic, you can do some pretty impressive looking full-screen special attacks. On the flip side, each character needs more special attacks. Some warriors only have 3 or 4 special moves. Number 7, Axe Battler on the Game Gear. Axe Battler is a wonderful idea that just falls short. Both the quest and the action sequences need more attention. Both Tyra's Flare and Gilia's Thunderhead are missing, and the lack of real momentum in either aspect of the game not only makes the division more apparent, it makes you feel like neither was rewarding. Number 6, Sega Superstars Tennis on the Wii and the Xbox 360. I enjoyed Sega Superstar Tennis, but it has some lost potential. The limited controls don't get much better on the Wii. Timing your swings with the motion control isn't very quick, so you'll want to stick with just the buttons. I'm also surprised that it's not all that wacky. It's fantastical, but it's not as over-the-top as Mario Tennis. I can't fault the core gameplay though, given its Virtua Tennis roots. If only the multiplayer minigames were enjoyable for less than 3 players. But the crossover cutscenes is worth it regardless of its faults. Number 5, Alien Storm on the Genesis. It's not hard to see the glimpses of Golden Axe in this game, but there's enough originality here to keep it separate. The graphics are cool, and watching the animation of certain aliens is entertaining, but veteran gamers will walk right through it. Be warned though, it is Golden Axe in Future's Close. Number 4, Golden Axe 2 on the Genesis. Golden Axe 2 isn't a total letdown, but it shows little to no improvement over the first. The graphics detail is lousy and the animation is lacking. The game has a few features that makes it more fun to play, like you can throw enemies into each other. The only thing that was improved is the magics. Even the music isn't as good. Number 3, Golden Axe on the Genesis. Even though it looks better than its 8-bit cousin, it just doesn't handle as well. Jumping is erratic, and flipping from right to left doesn't always happen exactly when you want it to. This is further complicated because the enemies play more aggressively and move faster, requiring precise control. The game is a bit one-sided in some areas, as well as repetitive, but it is well executed. Number 2, Golden Axe on the Sega Master System. Sega saved their best for last. Games like this could keep the Sega Master System going for another year. The graphics are outstanding and the gameplay is very challenging. Very few compromises were made to this version in translation from the arcade. And finally, at number 1, it's Golden Axe, The Revenge of Death Adder in the arcade. To say that Golden Axe, The Revenge of Death Adder is graphically intense would be a gross understatement. Sega's new 32-bit hardware does a stellar job. Quite simply, one must see it to believe it. The game plays very well with enough enemies and hidden booby traps to keep you on your toes. In addition, the 4-player option makes a great game even better. The selection of characters is wide-ranging, from a centaur to a pitchfork-wielding elf. All in all, it's a great follow-up to a classic arcade series.
Until now, if you wanted real arcade games, you had to go to the arcades. Now you don't.
Hey yo, $5.
Sega Genesis has changed all that with games that look, play, and sound like the real arcade games, because they are the real arcade games. From Sega, the masters of arcade entertainment. Now you can play Golden Axe, today's blockbuster arcade hit, at home with 2 new levels not even in the arcade game. Plus the hottest library of real arcade hits.
That's city.
But only if you own Genesis. From Sega, we bring the arcade experience home.
Hey, thanks for watching me break down these classic reviews. If you liked what you saw here, then you should know that we post new episodes almost every week. We have a whole playlist with more than 50 of these episodes, including franchises like Metal Gear, Mario, Sonic, Ridge Racer, Burnout, Turok, Tony Hawk, Castlevania, Resident Evil, Echo the Dolphin, and so many more. I'm talking about dozens of episodes. Give it a binge when you have a whole afternoon to spare. Now here's the question I have for you. What's your favorite Golden Axe game? Well, EGM did cover pretty much everything. They did miss out on Golden Axe 3 and Beast Rider, so maybe one of those is your favorite. Let me see your picks in the comments below. In other news, we'll be back later this week with more reviews and a brand new Nintendo Switch Online Review Crew episode. While you wait for that, I strongly recommend you click that subscribe button and support what we're doing here. Until then,